Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. We are discussing from the fourth point that's about the extent of inseparability under the classification of services. So, extent of inseparability is all about whether we can able to separate the service from the services provider to the consumer. So, again, there are possibilities with the subpoints await with this extent of inseparability. First thing is purely inseparable in the sense whatever the efforts we are going to put, we cannot separate it. For example, doctor service. So if the doctor is going to be available through online also, yes, our intention will be there. Let us go and meet the doctor personally. What he will say, what he's going to give the advisors. Correct? Purely inseparable. Even about the amount of the second point, partially inseparable. Yes, sir. Few of the services where partially we can separate from the services provider to the consumer. Yes, nowadays people can find out many of the hotel services. Yes, so hotel services was one of the pure intangible service where inseparable service where we cannot separate it at all. As like that masala dosa hot masala dosa used to be made over there and the consumption also supposed to it happen in that hotels only. But after that, Swiggy, Zomato, yes, the orders been changed, correct? So people they started looking forward as like, oh yes, we can start having the same hot thing at home also. Yes, partially inseparable or else partially separable. And one more point is purely separable. Yes, so service is going to get happen somewhere and we can have the consumption somewhere else. There is no linkage in between that a physical location. Yes, so it is possible in most of the services. As such, like probably after sales service of your product, just you want to hand it over that repairable mobile phone and you will get back and probably that is going to reach to its mobile services center, get it repaired and will come back and hand it over to you by that shop owner. Correct? So what we are focusing here, just to get the things done. We never focus on who has done the repair service or else how much amount of quality he was having in repairing that particular service. Never bother. Purely separable. The extent of inseparability. What we are discussing. Correct? And the pattern of services delivery. It is one of the beautiful concept. See, however, our mindset is being prepared based upon that we are going to focus on our clients also. If the a person is mentally pressured or stressed, probably he's going to execute the same thing in front of his customer when he's going to offer the delivery of service. That is the reason pattern of services delivery should be so scientific one and as an entrepreneur as a management, you need to think a lot when you are going to give one of the assignment to the right person. The reason is so simple. However, he is going to hand over the service as like the same response also can be revert back from your clients. That is the reality involved in every amount of services. That is the reason pattern of services delivery should be so scientific. Maybe I've given one of the example previously also as such like in a hotel, probably arrogantly that servo is coming up with the water glass and he kept it in front of you. Probably with his arrogancy, you're trying to showcase as such like, okay, sir, thank you so much. I'll walk out from here. So, what made you to take that kind of decision ad hoc? kind of decision, because the anxiety, the frustration, what the server has showcased in front of you, that made you to take the decision to walk out from that hotel. Correct? So the pattern of services delivery is so important. Scientifically, you need to create your own kind of viewpoints, thought process, and how you are going to tackle with your customers is most important. And the extent of people orientation. Yes, so whenever it is a pure service, extent of people orientation will be always at the higher level. However, you are going to treat your employees at the best, you are going to get your services done. Correct? And the extent of people orientation is in between, somewhere around partially. Then, yes, you can apply your management thoughts even about your cost cutting, or else maybe even about your managing with or replacing the employees from their job role. Correct? You can go for transferring the employees. Yes, you can do it if the people orientation is partial. And if the people orientation is zero, yes, that's your own call. The ball is there in your court as a managers. Okay, but ensure that the quality of products should be delivered at its best. Correct? And we're discussing about a seventh point now, the significance of service to the purchaser. As a buyer, that particular product or service should be so important to me, then only I'm ready to buy that product or service. Correct? So even under the classification of services, the significance of service has come. In the sense, if the services purchaser, if that is so important for me, then I never bother about what kind of services is being delivered by this particular person, or else how the attitude is being showcased by the person. Only the quality of service I'm going to look forward. Whether the quality of service is perfect, yes, everything is all right. So you're understanding the theme clearly. Even the significance of service is most important. And if it is a significance of service is partial, yes, we are going to start being having a judgmental thought process. Oh yes, there is a attitude being showcased by that delivery person. That's the reason I rejected, I denied that service or product. If that significance of service is never to be important, then you never bother about. Maybe you're going to do your own kind of game as a customer, as like, yes, never to be bothered. That is how the things will work, even on behalf of consumer. And the last point, marketable versus unmarketable services. So what it happens with respect to this marketable and unmarketable services is all about. Yes, sir. See, marketable services are all where we need to market that, we need to apply our sales promotion activities, then only our products or services can able to sell it off in the market. Whereas unmarketable need not to worry. Even if someone knows that you are offering a service, immediately it will get sold off as like that hot cake. Correct? Let us come up with some of the examples. Marketable services. Yes, sir. Teaching service, doctor service, advocate service. So wherever you get into that, commercial aspects are involved and which is supposed to be marketable, then only the product or service can able to get sell it off. Yes, you have to do the marketing activities. You have to put your efforts to push the things into the market. Whereas the unmarketable services, yes, most of the services are there which is unmarketable. Only it will go with the word of mouth, especially public administration. So you need not to market your public administration. Correct? Especially even with respect to the teacher's services with any of the organized institutions, need not to market. Automatically it will get sell it off. Correct? Even the services can be offered by one of the branded organization some of the time where they are almost settled in the market. They never bother about the product. Okay, the brand is there for the product, not for the organization. Okay, when the brand is there for the product, automatically it will get sell it off. Maybe I can go for quoting a simple example as such like a panipuri. The person, even after that pandemic also, in the previous year, just I have observed as such like even immediately after the pandemic, that lockdown is over, people they were rushing towards those chat centers. Which chat center that is, no one is going to look into that label. Chat center is important for them. Correct? So when the person is so curious, when the person is eager to have, then maybe your marketing activity is negligible. Okay, so with this note we could able to complete classification of services completely. Thanks to everyone. Right, so now it is the time for discussion.